they put one Ethernet port in the entire house. So I have to have 100-foot cord
What?
go throughout the whole house to plug it in.
Wait.
Yeah.
So you have Ethernet ports in the walls.
Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome back to another awesome episode of Push the Point, where we have got none other than the Storytime Lord himself, MajiinBea, is here to break down Oscilio Constellar Intelligence. But first and foremost, dude, thank you so much for jumping on. And how are you?
Yeah, of course. Happy to be here. Having a good day. You know, new wizards are coming out. I did my pre-releases this weekend, so yeah, looking forward to it.
How did your pre-release go? All right?
Sometimes it went all right. I have like a very particular talent in not opening Earth cards.
Yes, yeah.
Which is unfortunate because if you have done your pre-releases, you probably have an idea that Earth is really, really good and sealed.
Yes.
So I sat down for one pre-release, and most of the pre-release pricing is like, like 2 packs or whatever for everybody, maybe like a pack per win.
Yeah.
But this one, we sit down and I open my thing and I spend like the 45 minutes building, and I end up with an Oscilio list. And I understand it's like probably not the best, but it was like really fun. I opened like 4 lightning sigils. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. And then they're like, okay, the pricing for this one, first place, entire box. And I was like, oh no.
Uh-oh. All right, okay.
Yeah, I did not win that box.
No. Well, speaking of which, we're talking about Oscilio in CC. So, in short, what this dude does is, once per turn instant, discard an instant, draw a card, right? We saw this. What does this hero ability mean to you? Like, I was confused as all hell. You were really excited when you saw this at Pro Tour Amsterdam. Yeah, so you've jumped around with it. How is this working?
Okay, so basically, when you see something like this as an ability, it means a couple things. One, you get to play like instants, which are fun because I like wizard things, right? Yeah. And the main point of you get to play instants is like his ability lets you kind of tamper down on the downsides of playing instants, which is that they don't block. Sometimes they don't do anything at all, right? Mm-hmm. And so you get to kind of negate the downside a little bit, because if it ever doesn't fit, right? Maybe you draw lightning press, don't have any attacks. You can just like discard it, draw a new card.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that leads into the other thing, which is it allows you to kind of sculpt your hand a bit more.
Yeah.
You get a little bit less like Rune Blade hands, right? Where you have like all instants or like all spell. It's like you can kind of make it work. You get to play kind of like, it almost feels like you're playing like a 55 card deck.
Yeah.
And that you see your power cards more, because you get to like kind of thin it yourself as you're playing the game.
Yeah, I noticed that. When I first saw this, I saw that everyone else is probably going to be playing around with a 60 card deck, but this dude can, like you said, just on either side of the turns, just go, right, no. He's playing on a smaller deck size than everyone else because of this. Yeah. So it does...
bit of a more consistent combo style deck because of that.
Seems pretty strong. Is it like it's just a pretty solid hero ability that has some longevity?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I would say like the hero ability is pretty good, but the card that, like, if you want to get a taste of what the deck does, like, it's Volzar.
Right.
The deck is Volzar the Lightning Rod.
Right. Okay. Well, while we're here, let's bring this on, right? So if you control an aura permanent with Sigil in its name, this costs 1 less to activate, and a once per turn instant, Amp X, where X is the number of lightning cards you've played this turn. So break this down. This deck is Volzar the Lightning Rod.
It's Volzar the Lightning Rod deck. Yeah, basically, like, it completely determines how you build the deck, because you need to be playing like a lot of lightning cards in a turn to get that amp value.
Yeah.
And then you can take advantage of like powerful spells with surge effects, which we'll get into later. Right. But it's kind of like Crucible of Aetherweave on like steroids.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very nice. It also plays backwards where Crucible only goes forward. So if I activate Crucible, it pumps the next thing I play. Mm-hmm. But because Volzar's amp specifically, I could like, let's say you cast a lightning spell, like the shock. You cast Comet Storm Shock.
Yeah.
That's lightning. You can activate Volzar after to get the +1, which is kind of neat.
Yeah.
Like that comes up sometimes. It's just you really, because of you're playing a Volzar deck, you need like a critical mass of things, of like lightning spells with Go again, or instants or whatever, and then like one arcane to finish it off. So the deck is like very powerful when you get to do that, and very not powerful when you don't get to do that.
Fair enough. I was always sitting there, and it's probably you've explained it like fully that the fact that this you can just see this is how the deck is meant to work. Has there ever been a time where you kind of thought Waning Moon and Storm Striders? Has this ever been a no?
Storm Striders, yes.
Yeah.
But like Storm Striders still with Volzar, right? Like because you could Storm Striders out like Comet Storm Shock. This is something I actually do kind of often. It's really fun. You go
Right.
Comet Storm Shock. You let the shock resolve for one.
Yeah.
And then you in between the two, you activate Volzar to pump the Comet Storm. So then you have like a really tall arcane that's harder to block.
Got ya.
That happens every now and then. It's I don't know. It's just got like a kind of fun little thing.
Yeah.
So I did experiment with Storm Striders, especially before Greaves was like, before we saw Greaves.
Yeah,
right? We had Storm Striders in all the lists.
Yeah, that's fair because Storm Striders is an absolutely solid card. But since you're bringing it up, the Lightning Greaves, this is a card that obviously Daniel broke this down very for Aurora. I wonder how this works very much with the Oscilio, but it's an instant. Destroy this instant card you play this turn. Get Go again. Has Arcane Barrier 1. Has Battle Worn 1. Which is solid card.
It blocks one. It's you can play the wizard. This is crazy. No, this card is like huge for this deck.
Yeah.
I imagine you could play it in Aurora and it's probably pretty solid, but like in this deck, it is just absolutely insane. The amount of things you can do when you're generating action cards in combination with cards like Gone in a Flash, specifically. Your Blast to Oblivion plus your like Sigil package, you're just like making tons of action points, constantly playing like Gone in a Flash over and over and over again. Like you usually have okay turns, but you're building up to one big Lightning Greaves turn. It's like your go button. It's like your Storm Striders in Kano, but it happens in like the middle of the game, usually, not like the very, very end of the game.
Got you. So it's a crucial piece of equipment.
Crucial piece of equipment, yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So we'll just break this down. We find our Spring Tunic and the Crown of Providence. Those two are really generic staples for quite a lot of heroes. If you never really know what to do with those spots, doesn't surprise me to see these slot in. But why did you put Findel Spring Tunic in?
Yeah, it's literally because Lightning Greaves cost one.
Right. That's
it. That's the whole reason.
Yeah, that's exactly why Daniel put this in his Aurora deck as well. So it makes total sense. And then Crown of Providence, just solid blocker.
It's just solid block. You do have like a bunch of different things, and you need to be drawing an amount of each thing. Right. Your instants, your actions, and then your spells. And Crown of Providence can kind of help you filter. I'm really big on like, unfortunately, we're gonna get to the arms in a second, but like the whole fridge blocks like, it blocks 5.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really big on the Arcanite Skullcap, Arcanite Fortress package in the sideboard because then your fridge blocks 6, which is a very good number to block one time in a game.
Yes, that's very true.
But the Tunic Greaves like. Not interaction, but like just having one resource for free on Greaves is an entire extra card in this deck on your combo turn, and that's like too good to pass up.
Yeah, that's fair. And speaking of the new arms, the Aether Bindings of the Third Age. I mean,
Aether Bindings of the Third Age. What a card.
I know, badass name. And so this is Battle 1/1 and has an instant. Destroy this until the end of the turn. Whenever an order permanent you control with Sigil in its name leaves the arena, amp 1. I was very confused when I saw this card going, okay, it's a wizard card. Sure. Yeah. And then I watched some dude have like 3 like Sigil auras on the board, and then his turn started, and on the stack, he just went, right, okay, I will pop this. And then he go, and I went, oh, I get it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool card. It blocks 1, which is very nice, right? Again, this card is not as good as you think it is off the bat.
Right. Okay.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like you see it, and in your head, you have like these insane turns where you have like multiple sigils and Gone in a Flashes, and you're just generating action points and flickering everything, and you're like, holy, I'm gonna amp like 10.
Yeah.
But in reality, like you're happy to get 3.
Right.
Like if I can sack this for 3 value, like I'll do it every single time.
Yeah. I mean, that's not
bad.
No.
That's 4 total value. Totally okay.
Yeah. I mean, for a lot of equipment, just to get something like that, that's about right. All right. Yeah.
And it can turn on surges, which can be like extra value. So it's not bad. It's just like when you first read it and you look at like some of the things the deck can do, your eyes get all big. You're like, oh.
The
Like
lines.
it's more like just a piece. Like if you're looking for the big combo pieces, it's like Greaves and Volzar.
Yeah.
And the arms are just like also there
Yeah.
doing their thing,
Just doing
you
that.
know,
If
playing
you,
their part.
yeah, it's almost like it's that turn, right? But then I suppose really things have got to line up. You've got to have all the cards laid down, and then you've got to have that really cool spell in your hand at the time that those cards are also down. And yeah. I know what you mean. But yeah, that's your main board equipment. Let's
That's
jump.
my main equipment loadout.
Yeah, let's talk about your deck. So I think what I did last time is I just went through some of the lightning cards. Is there anything that within this that we've got to touch on first to sort of really tap into what the deck's play by play's doing?
Yeah, we should probably talk about the sigils.
Yeah, let's talk about the sigils. So, well, let's start with the big baby, the one and only Sigil of Brilliance. This
That's a cool card.
yeah, it's very good. It's an instant, so it comes in for 0 at the beginning of the action phase. Destroy this. When this leaves the arena, draw the card. When this leaves the arena is the ticket, right? That's the bouncing effect. But this card does seem very obvious to why you're going to put it in, but explain. What's this card doing?
Okay, so it's a sigil.
Yeah.
It turns on Volzar,
Yeah.
right? It's a lightning card, so it pumps Volzar. It's an instant, so it meets a lot of the requirements for cards like Fluttering Charge. We'll get into that, right? It gives you action points off Lightning Greaves. Turns on Gone in a Flash. Like, it does all the things that your deck wants to do.
Yeah.
It like plays all the pieces at once. And then it also lets you set up for like 6, 7 card hands.
Yeah.
Which get just out of control. And that's what you need. You know, you're really half the time just like a shitty Aurora deck.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
But like one time you're really doing stuff.
Right. And I feel like this card is kind of this is the best. I don't know. It feels like this is
Card.
the best.
Yeah.
It's the card, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The deck does not work without this card.
No, that's fair. So the other sigils, they've got the Sigil of Conductivity. So this is Arcanite Shelter.
It's Sigil of Lightning minus.
Right.
Right. Sigil of Lightning pops beginning of action phase. You get an embodiment of lightning. It sacrificing itself is nice because it goes to the graveyard for etchings, which we'll get to later.
Yeah.
It turns on your arms, and the embodiment of lightning is really good. Sigil of Conductivity is like I just really didn't like only having 6 sigils.
Right.
And then Sigil of Conductivity is pretty vital in decks that try to take you like really, really long, where they're just like really blocking you out. You can have like you have 9 sigils so that you can bring in like the Glyph Overlay package, and they just stack up if they're not dealing any damage to you.
Sure.
And then when you cast Glyph, it just automatically gets at least +3 because there'll be those 3 Sigil of Conductivities.
Yes.
And you can have like a much larger turn, right? You stockpile those, you cast your Glyph, they all go away. Your arms gets like huge amp. So it kind of works together. Sigil of Conductivity is like the worst of the sigils in the list right now, though.
That's fair. There is someone pointed out to me ages ago, and I'm sure it's like one of those. Doesn't really matter too much, but if you're playing against someone that isn't throwing out some arcane, if you just throw this on the board, Volzar's free forever.
Forever, yeah, which is cool for sure.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it doesn't come up that much.
Yeah. I know what you mean. It was just like a cool, like, hey, just so you know, doesn't really matter. But, you know, you could go, oh, it's free. Yeah. And then everyone goes, oh, really? That's cool. Anyway. It
does come up. It does come up.
Yeah.
You keep, like, we only have 9 sigils, and you're like, oh, well, I want, like, Volzar's not going to be for that often. But we have 6 copies of Etchings of Arcana, which, like, just keep giving us sigils back. Yeah. So you just have them all the time.
All right, okay.
Even without like flooding your deck with really bad ones.
Right, that's fair. And then we'll just bring up this. You said the Sigil of Lightning, which is
yeah.
It comes in when it leaves, makes a embodiment of lightning token. How important is that embodiment of lightning token?
Oh, so important.
All right, okay.
Oh my god. Yeah, the deck is like really hamstrung by just lightning cards with Go Again, and so you'll see some choices in the deck that like are there specifically because it's just a lightning card I can cast that isn't gated by whether or not my things have like whether I have 4 cards with Go Again in my hand or whatever.
Sure, fair enough. All right, and then where do we move on from here? Is it worth just going through these lightning or these 0 for 4 non-attack action or attack
Yeah,
action cards?
let's go through some of the instants, and then we'll loop back to the attacks probably.
Sure.
Maybe
Okay.
like somersault, discharge, those kind of cards.
Yeah, somersault discharge.
Yeah,
That seems like
cool cards.
yeah. This feels like again from the Aurora deck tech that I did with Daniel. That this card like linking up with like Entwine Lightning. So I play Entwine Lightning. I fuse with Electric Somersault, for example. Then I play it. It comes back into my hand, and then da da da. And is that again mainly what this card is doing, or is it defensively as well?
Both. I mean, we have like current funnel and Enlightened Strike current funnel, Enlightened Strike, and Gone and Flash all block 3.
Yeah.
So it's like not super rare for your opponent to just send a CNC and you're like, oh, I'll block 6 with 1 card. This is great.
Yeah.
And like that's very powerful. You're gonna get people are gonna be really upset about Aurora doing that a lot in like the next CC season.
Okay.
But honestly, Somersault's like so incredible for multiple reasons. It basically just like gets your best card back.
Yeah.
While adding 1 to your amp because it's a lightning card and it's an instant, so it can like give Flittering Charge go again. So like for example, you attack with Flittering Charge, you cast Electromagnetic Somersault, it gets go again, the chain resolves, Flittering Charge bounces back to your hand, you play it again, you play a Sigil, it gets go again, you shoot them with your spell, you get amp 4 from Volzar. Like that's a standard turn.
Right.
Yeah, and so like replaying a lightning card is really good in this deck.
Yeah, no,
because it just like ticks up your Volzar. You're just getting more and more value.
that is really interesting. I think like you can just see, like I know we're talking about Aurora a bit, but I think these two are really sort of playing. It feels like they're playing the same game, but they're sort of answering different questions. Like in this case, all this bouncing and rebouncing, everyone goes, "Oh, what's the difference?" But like, yeah, Volzar, bro, just amp, fire.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool. I think like the most I got off like a Volzar was like 11.
Whoa! I was sitting there going, oh, maybe like I don't know, 6, 7, maybe 11.
Yeah. No, I sent in Etchings of Arcana for like 18 or something. Like at the end of the chain.
Oh my!
Like it was nuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
that is nuts. Okay, cool. Then we'll go on with electro. I can never pronounce this one.
Electrostatic Discharge.
That's the one.
Yeah.
The next attack action you play this turn will cost 1 or less, gets +3. It seems like a really sweet card for something like Gone in a Flash.
Yeah, so it's like I think this card was designed specifically with Gone in a Flash in mind.
Yeah.
Because we already have Lightning Press, but if you Lightning Press Gone in a Flash, it triggers and bounces back to your hand before you can deal damage.
Yeah.
So you can't really like use it with Gone in a Flash, but Discharge works with basically the whole deck. Right? You can like Flittering Charge, Discharge, it gives it go again, next thing, boom. It works with Gone in a Flash because you just like wait for damage and then you discharge, it bounces Gone in a Flash, then you can just replay Gone in a Flash, right? There's a lot of stuff you can do with this card. It is like that and Electromagnetic Somersault outside of like Sigil of Brilliance and Sigil of Lightning are really big like linchpins of the deck.
Yeah, no, I can tell that those two are just doing a lot of work just to really push this. And I suppose really the last one, well, this card was pretty nutso when I was talking about this in Aurora. Channel Lightning Valley.
We like Channel Lightning Valley here. Yeah. That's a cool card. It's an instant.
Yeah.
It's lightning.
Yeah.
You can discard it to Oscilio's ability. It pumps up your Volzar or whatever. It's a yellow, which is neat because you might want to pitch it late game. So like it casts Comet Storm,
Right.
Which is actually relevant sometimes. But I found myself like keeping this card around I found myself taking less than optimal lines to keep this card around for longer. I would like take a turn to set it up, threaten some damage. My opponent would give me a lot of things to stop me from drawing a card. And then I would just, instead of sending a 0 for 4, I would just Volzar and end my turn.
Sure.
And like, so I keep the channel Lightning Valley around. I lost 4 value, but it's not as relevant because I'm just going to, like, this is a setup combo deck.
Yes.
So you like keep it around, you arsenal, you draw your 5, maybe 6 card hand with Sigil of Brilliance, and then you're threatening another draw with Channel Lightning Valley, and they've already expended some defensive resources, and now you can like really put it to them.
Yeah, yeah.
This card is great.
It seems like a really big glue to a lot of these lightning heroes, because it's just it's doing the lightning thing, and these heroes are, even though that one of them is a rune blade and a wizard, it seems like if you're gonna play ice, you play Channel 8 Frigid. Like, it doesn't matter if
that card.
It's that card, isn't it? It is that
Yeah.
card for sure. And then I'm trying to think, there's any other.
Yeah, we got a couple copies of Lightning Press, which are like
yes, we do.
Electrostatic Discharge 4 through 5.
Yeah.
It's just not as good. Like we talked about it with Gone in a Flash earlier.
Yeah.
But it is really nice with Channel Lightning Valley, so I do like to have a couple copies because then they're just always worried about it.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It just seems like really solid lightning cards. Basically, if you're going to be a lightning hero, these are just really solid lightning cards.
Yeah.
Well,
and then the last. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. The last one, is Blink.
Blink. This is way better than you think it is. Oh yeah, it's like, oh, blue lightning instant, sure, I guess, but like, no, this card is so good in this deck.
Go on, send it.
Okay, so Gone in a Flash. You play Gone in a Flash, right? 0 for 4. You blink, it bounces back to your hand, and you have an action point again.
Yeah.
So you could play Gone in a Flash again, right?
Yeah.
That's a nice little 2-card 8. If you had an Embodiment of Lightning, it's a 2-card 8 with Go again, and then you've amped 3 for your like arcane spell, right? So you could have a 3-card 6 there, or a 3-card 14 or whatever. Like, it's so good with Blast to Oblivion. Because it doesn't have natural Go again, right? You attack with it, blink, bounce a Sigil, play the Sigil. You can like do another thing. Maybe you even bounce it back to your hand with Somersault. Just the extra action point is so nice because the best cards in the deck for comboing that are attacks are like Gone in a Flash and Blast to Oblivion.
Right.
And neither of them have Go again.
So they're very strong, but you've got to work for it. But the payoff is just
very good.
Yeah.
I was constantly surprised with how happy I was to draw this card in like most situations. And if you're not, you just discard it.
Yeah, that's the best.
It's great.
That's the awesome thing is that you go, oh no, yes,
Get out of there. Yeah.
That's awesome. Right, should we go for? And then after that, go for some lightning attacks.
Yeah. Let's do some lightning attacks.
Yeah. So Entwine Lightning. This isn't
almost
a lightning card. Yeah, almost.
Yeah, almost. You get gated a lot with like whether or not you can have consistent Go again.
Right.
And so Entwine Lightning and E-Strike, which we'll probably talk about next, are both there just to like kind of smooth your way a little bit. Because none of the lightning attacks have natural Go again, except for like Fry.
Yeah, or when you say natural Go again, it's I got it, but summon. You know,
you have to like do something else.
Yes.
Right? You can't just cast the card and it has Go again. It asks for some condition, whether you cast an instant spell or you've already dealt damage or it comes from your arsenal, right? Like you have to do something to get the Go again.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times you're going to draw a hand and just can't fulfill that condition. And you can't use your hand.
Yeah.
And you suck at blocking.
That's fair. And I suppose I don't think this is ever going to be a problem because if you haven't drawn a lightning card, I mean, that's something that's gone terribly wrong.
Really weird. Yeah. The whole deck's lightning, basically.
Yeah.
Entwine Lightning always comes in for 4, always has Go again. I've done a lot of turns where it's just like Entwine Lightning, fuse electromagnetic, or fuse like something. Okay, somersault it back. Entwine Lightning, fuse the same card. Like, going down. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's a 0 for 4 with Go again.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's not lightning, so it doesn't help your Volzar thing, but like it is a 0 for 4 with Go again.
Well, while we're on the train, E-Strike.
Yeah, this is a cool card. I don't know who said this, but someone said that like you know your deck's good if E-Strike, you choose draw card on the mode.
Yes, yeah. I'll tell you what, that was exactly what Daniel said on the Aurora deck. He went, you know this card's crazy when you picture a card and you get the action. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, you can do all the action point shenanigans. You have Embodiment of Lightnings from all your sigils, which you're going to cast like a lot. So you get to pick draw card on this a lot. And everything in this deck is castable, right? Because your blues are sigils or current funnel or like blink, and you're happy to play all of them.
Yeah.
But like you'll often just start your turn out like, oh, I don't have a lot of Go again. Let me just E-Strike Go again. It's not the most efficient, but like
It's not. It's nice
It
that you
works.
can always pick it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's it. That's awesome. And then,
Solid card.
solid
Whatever.
Yeah, blocks for free.
Yeah,
Oh!
that it does.
And then we'll go through some of these lightning attacks. Fry 0 for 3. Go again.
Head jab.
Yeah,
That blocks for 0, but
they
non-conditional
punished
go
you.
again.
They punished you with that block, bro.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
most importantly, it's not going to be triggered by the
Weakest link.
the weakest link. Yeah, you're like, ha ha.
Yeah, the Fry's cool. Like, you have to remember when you read all these lightning attacks, like Fry is a 0 for 3 go again, but it's actually not because of Volzar. It's a 0 for 4 go again, right? Because it amps 1 when you're like doing your thing. So Red Fry, we're like very happy to play it.
Yeah,
every time.
That's fair. That's fair. So lightning surge as well, just 0 for 4.
0 for 4 conditional go again. We have a lot of those.
Yeah, yeah. And then flittering charge, same thing again. 0 for 4. If you played an instant, go again.
Conditional go again.
Yeah,
this is probably the best of the conditional go agains.
Yeah, because it feels easy, easy.
Very easy.
Yeah.
Flows with your natural game plan. A lot of your deck's instants. Lightning Surge can be a bit awkward because you have to have it in your arsenal previously.
Yeah.
Maybe you're sitting on like an arcane spell in there that you can't quite get out. It can be awkward, but like Flittering Charge, very, very easy to turn on. Works very well with the flow of your turns because you just want to be like, all right, 0 for 4. And then you want to cast Electrostatic Discharge anyway. So you cast it. Now it has go again. Cast something else, right? Like it just kind of works well.
Yeah. I was noticing that, seeing that being played, playing against it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, this card. Ugh.
Solid.
Yeah. I tell you what, no, because Sizzle is not an attack. Second strike, again.
Yeah.
When it's attacks, you
0
do
for 4
damage.
conditional.
Yeah.
This is the worst of the conditional lightning go agains.
Yeah, I was gonna say this when I was doing this with Daniel with the Aurora deck. I was like, oh, this card feels like it's just gonna do its thing all the time.
I'm just gonna have it.
Yeah. But this, it does feel a bit like, nah.
Yeah, it comes out in matchups where you expect to be blocked out a lot.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And we got a current funnel, bro. Right?
Current funnel, man. I love this card.
Yeah, this card is like the Shadow of Ursa vibes to it.
Yeah, it just does exactly what you need it to do.
Yeah, it's a blue block free
Blue.
0/2.
Block 3, 0 attacks for 2. Super relevant text, right? Giving things go again. Fixes your awkward hands. Enables you to play 5-card hands.
Yeah,
It's lightning for your Volzar.
Yeah.
Like it literally does all the things.
brilliant. So yeah, you windmill slam this into your deck, and
10 out of 10. Play 3.
so I'm gonna. So that's your attacks. Seems incredibly solid.
We missed the most important one.
Whoa!
Which is gone in a flash.
Oh my days! I tell you what.
Yeah.
I think as we talked about. Yeah, gone in the flash. It will go. I mean,
0. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
0 for 4 lightning card, and it blocks 3, which is crazy that it blocks 3.
Yeah.
With the text, like when it attacks, the next time you play an instant, you bounce it back to your hand. If you're not aware, you can let the damage resolve and also go again if it has like an embodiment.
Yeah.
And then cast an instant before the chain link is like over to bounce it back to your hand.
Yes.
In case the viewer is not aware.
Yeah.
That's very important for this deck. So you do a lot of stuff for like, oh, you have an embodiment of lightning. Okay, gone in a flash. And then you cast, maybe you tunic into your boots, right? You activate that. You cast Electrostatic Discharge. That's going to bounce Gone in a Flash back to your hand. Now you have 2 action points. You play Gone in a Flash again. It's now coming in for 7. You play Sigil. It bounces back to your hand. You have 2 action points. You play Gone in a Flash again. You have 1 action point, and then you finish off with your spell. And like, you just amped so much because you played all those lightning cards, right? You got to play Gone in a Flash 3 times. You attacked for a ton, and then you're coming in with a spell with like a surge effect that either gets you a Sigil back, which by the way, if you get a Sigil back, you can play the Sigil, get your action point, shoot them again. Like, it's just so cool. Gone in a Flash and Sigil of Brilliance are the cards.
Yeah.
In this deck.
Yeah. I think this card single-handedly is making the Lightning Heroes like they're in the game. Like that's the thing that's keeping these guys punching above the weight of what the meta is doing, and is like you said, is so annoying playing this.
Very good. Yeah, very annoying to deal with. It's like, Earth Heroes got like Plow Under and like Felling of the Crown. This is like the Lightning Heroes Felling of the Crown.
Yes, yeah, 100%. You can see that, and I think there's definitely this ride the lightning while you can, everyone, because ice is asleep.
Yeah, once that comes back, this deck is not gonna be working for you.
But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Okay, so that is all the attacks. Let's just burn through some of these. I have to say, right, for a wizard deck, I was
A lot
like,
of spells? Is that what you're gonna tell me?
yeah, there's not a lot of spells. There's not a lot of spells. No, I will just say we'll end this. There's Sizzle. You got Sizzle. Your next lightning or elemental attack this turn gets +3. Okay, is this what? Just
Lightning, 0 for 3, go again. That's it.
Nimblism.
Like, it's Nimblism, but it pumps for 4 because of Volzar.
Sure.
That's it. Like, it's just, I couldn't find enough things with go again.
Right.
So I'm playing Sizzle. It could be like Flittering Charge Yellow, I suppose, but the Sizzle was actually like pretty good for me.
Yeah.
I was happy with it, so it's there. It might end up being a 3 of, who knows? Like, it's better than you expect, but it's literally there just to be glue, just to like make it so your hands aren't completely unplayable.
Yeah, it's in a weird way. It's not attacking, but it's a 0 for 3 go again.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's another one. Right, now the spells. Right,
The spells.
Now the spells. Let's do the cool one. Comet Storm Shock.
I think they're all cool, but
Yeah.
sure.
Well, this one's melding, bro. Right.
Yeah. Comet Storm Shock's really cool. I have 2 in the main and then a 3rd in the side. It's awkward to play against decks with that don't give you a lot of space. Like, if you're playing against an Aurora and you need to go fast, Comet Storm is like not the card. But it's very good at going over the top of tall Arcane Barrier.
Okay. Yeah.
Comes in for a ton, and it also, if you're playing those games that go really long, they're probably going to spend a lot of time at low life. And if you get into a spot where they're like, okay, like I'm tapping out, I'm at 3, and you go, okay, well, Sigil, Electrostatic Discharge, shock you for 3, like you die.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, that comes in for 4, because you do Volzar Aftershock, but like, it is like a bit of a mini Storm Striders, which is nice. It blocks 3, and you can always discard it to Oscilio. So like, it's not super insane, but it does what it does really well.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's. I was wondering why there was just the 2 copies and not the 3 copies.
You just really don't want to pitch.
Right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Let's move over to the Etchings of Arcana. Right.
Yep.
That when I did see this, I was a little bit like, oh my days, this is just like bounce card central, right?
This is the cool one.
Yeah.
This is what you're going to end most of your turns with, is Etchings. We have Mind Warp, which we'll talk about in a bit, but like Etchings is good against all heroes. It keeps your game plan going. You really want these like 6-card hands, and Etchings let you do it. Like once you get a Sigil of Brilliance into your graveyard, you're just constantly
Right. Yeah.
just recycling it. Yeah.
And then that's why you've even went in for the yellows, bro.
It's so good. A lot of people I feel like are going to be like, oh, why don't you just play the blue? It's only 1 less damage and you get a blue, but like you just don't need to pitch blues in this deck.
Right.
Like the vast majority of your turns, you don't pitch anything.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, go look at the cost. Like the only card that costs mana or resources in the entire deck is Comet Storm Shock until you get to the sideboard. Everything else costs 0.
Yeah, that's fair. And then at last, this card, Mind Warp, we knew it was good, but it was just...
Eventually someone was gonna play it. Yeah.
Yes. So this card feels like a real solid end game. Like just it's that cool disruption.
Yeah.
But
it's great against like other decks that are looking to like aggressively race you. Because it's really easy to get it above like 4 damage. You know, you're gonna be coming in for like pretty much 4 at minimum here. It's gonna be like 5 for the most often. And like these aggressive decks, like Azalea, for example, just can't AB3 this.
No.
And so it's gonna hit, and you're gonna completely ruin their turn. I do board it out a lot against decks that are going to be looking to block. So like that's when the second strikes and the mind warps come out for the more like combo oriented package I have in the sideboard.
Sure.
But against the decks that like can't efficiently stop it, it's exactly what you need.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that is everything in the main board. and
Yeah.
we'll just go over to the sideboard. We'll start off with the equipment. Remember you were saying about the Arcanite Fortress, just for
Yeah.
that armor. That is, the second I saw it, I was like, yeah, and I think the
Yeah.
community are all gonna love this too, man. So
I like the Arcanite package a lot.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm a fan. I think a lot of people are doubters, but I like it.
yeah.
Just blocks 4, and then like if you're playing an Oscilio mirror, God forbid, you like block 4, and then you have Spell Void 2.
Yeah. That's
Yeah, and then maybe you even block another one with like the Skull Cap. It's just really strong.
yeah. I mean, it's nice to have heroes that just don't have that sort of big armor package to just have that available to them now.
Have something.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep. So I like them.
Yeah. Balance of Justice. I
Yeah.
thought this card died after the
It
ban.
did,
It did.
but like people are gonna be playing brutes,
yeah.
and brutes are pretty fast. But if I get to have a 7-card hand, I'm faster.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
like I play balance. It's just there. I honestly just like don't have enough cards I want to be playing in the 80.
Right.
So I just have I don't know. I just don't have enough lightning cards to go against. Like I already have the best arcade spells. And then there's just not that many lightning cards with go again that I want to bring in. So, if I could get a couple of percent maybe with an equipment piece, I'm super willing to do that.
That's fair. That's fair enough. I'd love to. I'm loving the shot charmers are there. I'm looking at that instant bit, going, "Oh, is he going to do it?" And then you're going to tell me, "Nah, bro, it's Spell Void 2."
I've activated it. I've done the thing. It also helps you keep around Channel Lightning Valley. I do actually use it sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's like better to bring it in over the wizard arms, but like for very slow matchups, when they give you a lot of space, they're looking to like really block you out. You can keep Channel Lightning Valley around with it for like 3 turns pretty easily.
Right.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Is that worth the inclusion? I don't know, but I thought it was fun, so it's in there.
That's fair enough.
Worst case, it is Spell Void 2.
That's fair. Metacarpus nodes. Is this just your Kano? Like, I can't let this baby go.
Yeah, you'd think that, but it's also like Shock Charmers would be the Kano card.
Yeah.
So a lot of the equipment is like stuff I'm kind of experimenting with, specifically the arms pieces. Metacarpus nodes is something I was like kind of considering. Oh, you can use it to like get a spell over the top, maybe. It does have an extra instance of AB1, which is nice because we only actually have Arcane Barrier 1. It's just like the boots.
Oh yeah, because the Aether Bindings of the Third Age, bro.
No Arcane Barrier.
No,
Yeah.
wild. Okay.
So if I wanted more Arcane Barrier, that'd probably be the first place that I go.
Yeah, that's fair. And then Mark of Lightning, this dude,
Yeah.
I saw this and I was just like, I got a cold for one of these. Oh yeah, it's gonna go through the roof.
Another card that I'm not sure if I'm gonna play, but like it turns on Second Strike.
Yeah.
Which is like Second Strike's really good in the deck if you can get it to like trigger, and horrendously so bad if you can't. And the issue is like your best go again card that's lightning is like a 0 for 3, like Fry, right? Which they just put a 3 block in front of, and you're like, oh man. Now none of my hand has go again. Like this sucks.
Got ya.
So Mark of the Lightning could technically get you around that, but I'm not sure if it's going to be in like the final version. It's just something I was thinking about.
Yeah, that's fair enough. So that's your sort of go around equipment, right?
Yep.
Blast to Oblivion is this card that's in your sideboard. This card generally feels like this seems like a main board card.
It does seem like it, doesn't it? It's like, man, I remember when we were cooking lists before like the cards actually were in our hands, and we're like 9 Blast to Oblivion, baby. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like the gate for this deck isn't the amount of cool things you can do and like the amount of recursion you have. You have plenty of that. The main gate for this deck is just lightning cards with go again, and Blast to Oblivion does not help you.
No.
You can maybe be flickering like one of the lightning sigils to keep giving yourselves like go again tokens, like embodiment of lightnings, but when you play this deck for yourselves, like the red Blast Oblivion can absolutely do cool things. It is in the sideboard because I'll bring it in against decks that I need to have like a bigger, go taller turn.
Yeah.
But I don't want it against like when I'm playing against Aurora because I don't have time to set up. I can't make sure I craft this perfect hand. I need to just be like going, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
But against decks like, maybe Florian, I do need to have bigger turns, and Blast to Oblivion helps me do that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So what would you swap Blast of Oblivion with? Like, what would you swap it with?
Yeah. So the second strikes
The second
we don't want,
strikes. Okay.
right? So those come out.
All right. Yeah, because yeah, makes sense. It's the weakest of the lightning ones, so just throw that in.
Mhm.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Your third copy of Comet Strike Shock, like you said, this is coming in when you got a bit more time.
Exactly.
Yeah. And then the Glyph Overlay, like,
Yeah.
yeah, right. I
Just
imagine.
all arcane. It's a cool card.
Yeah, it seems really strong. I reckon the thing is it the one cost? Is that the deal breaker?
One cost sucks.
Yeah,
Man. Yeah. It's
Pitching,
really rough.
ew.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
It's a bit awkward, but like it can easily come in for like with Volzar, you're sending this for like 7 a lot, 7 or 8. Like if your turn is, let's say you have tunic counter and your turn is sigil, glyph overlay, then you're coming in for 7.
Yeah.
Because glyph comes in for 5, and then you have the amp 2 from the 2 sigils. Like that's a pretty good 3-card hand. And then you get to like surge, gain a life, shuffle those back in. It's like pretty good at giving you tall damage, tall arcane to get over decks that are again gonna be looking to like block you a bunch.
Okay. What? So, and again, is this like linking in with Blaster of Oblivion? Is it?
Yeah,
Okay. And what card would you be swapping out to play Glyph?
mind warp.
Mind Warp. Ah,
I know, but
Ah.
the decks that you want glyph against are easily able to AB3 usually, and so mind warp's like not that good.
that's fair. That's fair. All right. I mean, and that's Snag.
Yeah, there's a couple copies of Snag in there. I honestly don't know if this is good, but
Right.
but like you can cast it against New, who's really disruptive, and that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
And then if they don't do the thing, you can just discard it and draw a different card. And I was like, that's kind of cool. So I put them in there.
I was sitting there thinking that this could be a Sigil of Solace as well, because we've like gone in a flash, just going, okay, 0 for 4. All right, okay, resolution phase. Play Sigil, gain 3 health. This comes back to my hand, Arsenal.
Yeah, you could totally do that.
Yeah.
The issue is like the deck runs into so you draw your hands, and it's like that's great if you're blocking like 6 with your other cards, but like you're not doing that.
No, that's true. You are sitting there going,
Yeah.
I don't instance.
Yeah, you need your like 4 or 5 card hands to do things because you do not block well.
No.
And so if you're forced to block with any of them to get like decent value out of your cards, then you're just losing so much.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, and that's the lot. That's the whole thing.
That's the deck.
That's
yeah,
the deck.
uh-huh.
I mean, thank you so much for sort of like just giving you a first take thoughts on Oscilio. So, give me. So we went through a lot of awesome things about this deck.
Yeah.
What is your kind of like downside, like the challenges this deck's going to face?
2 cost, 6 power attacks are really bad for you. All of them.
Right.
Name any of them, and they're good against you. Like Command and Conquer, Weakest Link, all of those are so bad for you.
Right.
So a deck that just starts off with 3 copies of Command and Conquer, 3 copies of Weakest Link, which seems like something that a lot of decks are just going to be starting off with.
Yeah.
In this upcoming meta, right? It's good against like. You want the Command and Conquers, they've just always been a staple. Weakest Link is good against the Lightning Heroes. It's good against like Enigma, right? Like there's a lot of stuff you can do with Weakest Link. And this deck just crumbles to both those cards. It's so sad. You can't really stop on hits because you don't have a lot of block, hence the Arcanite package. But like the second you're playing on like 2 to 3 card hands, like you suck. You're just so much worse than everybody else.
Got ya. But if you're not,
oh man, you do some cool things.
Yeah,
this is like gonna be my favorite armory deck for a while.
Right. Got ya.
You probably won't see me playing it at like a pro quest, but I'm really gonna be terrorizing my locals with it.
The scenes, man, where we all go. MajiinBea is going to rock up to Pro Tour Europe, wherever that may be, and it's a silly no.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Like, I'm still gonna keep looking.
Yeah.
For like the list that really does it. I honestly, my like completely like conspiracy theory take is that Oscilio was tested with tomes.
Yeah.
And
bro.
he does just disgusting things with tomes. Disgusting things with tomes.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, just like put 6 tomes in this deck and take out 6 of the worst cards. Like put in the Blast Oblivions and everything and just play it. and you'll be like, oh my god, like it's so gross.
Yeah.
And then when you don't have those, like he just is so much harder to do the thing
Yeah.
because you need that critical mass, and without the tomes, like without the +1 from tomes, it's harder to get that critical mass.
I think what would have happened though is that yes, you're right. He would have went whoa, but then everyone will go, "That's cool." Kano is
Yeah, he's pretty good too.
Kano will go, "Nice, bro."
Yeah.
Just goes,
Yeah.
here's a 200 damage. Okay.
I think Oscilio would be favored in that matchup if they both have
Really?
the things. Well, you can run Spell Void 4 in Oscilio because you have
That's-
Shock Charmers plus the Skullcap package if you want it.
That's true.
I don't know if that's good, but like you could. And he's pretty fast.
Yeah.
So he'd be like, find it, and then you have to be doing a lot of damage in your turn. I'm not really sure who would come out on top.
No,
Right? They'd
no.
both just be like cracking their knuckles and be like, all right, let's see what happens. But yeah.
I'm intrigued. And there is a Living Legend format, right? So
Yeah, oh man, that's gonna be so fun. Living
Yeah.
Legend's such a blast.
yeah, that's it. Right. Well, dude, thank you so much for taking the time for this. Is there any particular shout outs that you want to do in general, teams or channels or anything?
Yeah,
like that?
just the Metal Fab guys,
Yeah.
obviously. We got the cool. I mean, I see everybody with the resource tokens. I don't know about you.
Bro, funny enough, partners of the channel, and I sell all the Metal Fab tokens, so all the people in the
Yeah.
UK can actually get it at the. So I've got,
You got a couple.
yeah, I see them every day.
Yeah, I got like 5 different ones in my bag because they
Yeah.
make the like specific ones for each event.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So like the Amsterdam one is like so pretty, and then on the back is like a Stroop waffle.
yeah.
It's like my favorite one to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really cool. And then I do a lot of tests. Obviously, we all it's a team, so we do a lot of testing together. So shout out to all the guys, especially for helping me with this Oscilio list.
Yeah, no, that's sick. Thank you so much. And it's a bit weird. I don't think it's worth much of a. You're the YouTuber. Hey, check out his channel. Everyone's like, the reason we're here is because we know his channel. Thank you
I don't
so.
know about all that.
Thank you so much for your time, though, and thank you everyone
of
for
course.
checking it out. See you later.